Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Let me launch my charts. Okay, wait. Let me share my screen. Share screen 3. Share. Good morning. Everybody seeing the screen? The euro, S&P. Hi, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. All right. So Dow breaking up to the upside. NAS is kind of doing that. The markets have been very, very, very quiet. Very few signals. I do have like an interesting thought pattern for those of you who are trading Asia and Europe in the markets. I'm just trying to take a look and see what else is going on here on the DAX. DAX is actually also very very similar in this way. So let me let's start with the DAX first of all, and then we'll just go through through what I think is some interesting ideas. So if you're trading Europe, which is a very choppy range-bound trade, right? It's basically really, really choppy range-bound trade. You have to reverse all of your suppositions when you're using our structure and our arrows. And basically, you're always trading back to the band, back to the mean reversion. Doesn't always work, but it really works pretty much the majority of the time. What I mean by that is, if you have a buy arrow significantly stretched away from the short EMA from 20, it's almost always a good buy, right? It's almost always a very, very decent buy. Generally, if you don't want to go for the first one, the second one is okay. I like to, the way I look at it is, let's zoom in on this so you guys can actually see this. So why is this not a great trade and this is a decent trade and this is a great trade? So it's a great trade because you have the arrow, and you are way. So there's a huge amount of room to come back towards the blue EMA, right? This one is touching the blue EMA, so there's much less room for mean reversion. This one pierces but doesn't quite touch, so you have some room. So I would say best, but better, not great at all. Then you have the same thing on the reversal side, where you're waiting basically for the down arrow. This is, I'm talking about just strictly for Europe, to be away from the blue arrow over here. So these are minor trades. These are 4 or 5 point scalps, but they tend to give you almost perfect entries for a quick turn one way or the other, right? And you can just keep on going as you watch it. So you ignore all of the buy arrows above, sell arrows below. All you're looking for is the turn trade. So here's one where it pierces but doesn't close through. Good enough for us to take, right? Here's one where it closes through, so we're going to pass up, even though that tends to be a decent turn. Here's one where it's significantly away, so it closes here at 53 and has a scope to go all the way out to, well, I guess 57, like 3 or 4 points. I mean, you're really not talking a lot, but that's just the nature of the beast in European session. Is 2 or 3 points up way, 2 or 3 points the other way, as you move through the trades, right? Here's one where, as it gets closer to the New York Open, you get much better liquidity. So here you're open, you buy over here as it pierces and it gets you 6-7 points up, and then it reverses the other way. and it gets you like 6-7 points down. You're basically scalping both sides of the market because you're just assuming that there is no trend direction. And when there's no trend direction, these things pick the tops and bottoms pretty well. And it's true in the Dow. It's true in the NAS right over here. Look at the NAS, but way stretched away. Buying this gives you the entry, right? This is not great because it's already close to the moving averages. It needs to be stretched away from the moving averages, right? The Dow, you can just basically look at the charts and just see where's the perfect trade. Here's the perfect sell. Here's a perfect buy. Everything else is garbage. This is all garbage because we're all essentially mishmashed around. We shouldn't be involved. And these kind of, this chop up and down, up and up and down, that's the absolute right tactic to trade Asia and Europe when you don't have significant, strong break. Now, you did have one break move here that you would have missed if you had traded this, chop up and down. But my point is the trend opportunities are few and far between. There's only maybe one. And when you're trying to trade trend continuously, you just basically wind up making more errors than getting a lot of false positives. Whereas here, when you're trading range in this structure, you're getting a lot more true positives by just picking your spots. Another, like right over here, here's another one where we go back to the Dow here. You see this arrow a little bit away. You short at was it 32? That's full scope all the way down to 14. That's more than 10 points, consistently. And the thing is, you don't do anything until and unless you get that kind of structure. Here's an arrow that picks up over here. You get another 10 points here. The bottom line is, if you have that kind of structure, you're generally going to be within, 10, 15 points of a bottom and a 10, 15 point move the other way, because they're just moving markets back and forth from supply demand levels at this level. Right now, we're finally getting a little bit of movement, and this is, if we were trading it, in trend basis, we could have taken this to the upside as a big breakout rule, but honestly, it's still a very, very choppy market pre-New York. Although now the whole point is from 7 to 9, as we get closer towards the open, we certainly get a lot more trend regime than non-trend regime. And we could, we don't have any signals here, but this very likely might be, if we take this trade, if this trade kind of closes somewhere around here, it's probably an extension trade. Although you have all this overhead, but it feels like they want to run it higher here. Although we don't have any signals on here. NAS is also mildly turning the other way without much chance. Euro obviously had huge moves today. There was actually very little. The euro is very, very tight. I'm just looking for euro had, and by the way, trend in euro is, you can see that you have to use very different assumptions. Euro is in a strong trend, and it's actually been in a strong trend for a whole week. And here, using our pure trend mechanisms, just taking out the sell fails continuously is a much better strategy than trying to pick tops and bottoms. You're really not getting that many tops and bottoms here. Signals, but this would be kind of a false signal if you try to sell this. It's much better to buy this on a. Depending on even if you took this, what is this? This is 23 and went all the way down to 20. Like nothing. These are all tiny little signals on a 1 minute chart. But definitely taking the breakout signals here would have really worked. Now, as we get closer over here, I think it's actually going to be interesting to see if a lot of this trend kind of dies out a little bit, and I'd be tempted. If I get a next sell arrow way away from the 1 minute mark, from the 12 EMA mark, I'd be tempted to actually short this, given a little bit of a change in regime. Oh, this actually, while I was talking, I didn't realize this. Remember I said to you that this was a good breakout? This actually did break out higher. Yeah. And it looks like they're trying to bid up stock index futures into the open a little bit. Cable also, very, very strong move. And I am tempted, if I get a sell arrow here away from the blue arrow, to fade it on just a scalp basis. DAX doing nothing. I'm just fooling around myself a little bit. No, there's no real trades here. I'm just putzing around here. Very, very small. Just kind of bored. Taking a small scalp in the Dow for my own account here, but we'll see if that works. It really doesn't matter. So I'm getting pretty much finished up on my slides, and it's I think they're really taking good shape. And what I was going to say is there's a lot of really interesting value proposition on much longer term charts that some of you may find interesting. Let me just blow out my little. I can't even get this Dow to move. Jesus. All right, whatever, doesn't matter. And it's worthwhile to take a look at longer term charts. Let me just get those up for you. Sorry, I just want to. I'm just on the other screen here. What happened here? Okay. Okay, bringing this other screen to you guys, and let me get rid of this so we have a little bit more space. Let me go to the CFDs, and let's go to like an hour chart. And actually, we can do this with a bar review. It's like a 1 hour chart, so I just wanted to go back and just see if we can play the 1 hour chart. Let's say back over here. Is this good? Why is this not working? Oh, I have to put the speed. I didn't realize I had to put the speed. Okay, so let's start over here. Okay, and we can. I mean, this is obviously this. We're going to start from this point onward. I'm just watching this because I'm just having fun here. This is a 1 hour chart, right? And I'm trading NASDAQ, and I just want to kind of play with you. Okay, stop. So let's stop over here. So NASDAQ breaks out to positive trend. And one of the, one of our setups that we like to do is a trade to the, is the first buy signal in a positive trend. On an hourly chart, that's usually a very, very strong quality signal. You can see it right here. Just complete trades it, trades it straight up. Would have been a great signal for us to take, right? So let's keep going. Okay, stop. Okay, sell signal, we're still in a positive trend. So if this sell signal reverses to the upside, in other words, if the candle closed to the upside, that would be a buy for us. Let's just play it out. Nope. So now we get into negative trend, right? Now we're looking either for a stop, okay, sell signal over here. So one of the things that I like to do on a longer term charts is what I want to do is I want to use the high to low stop. So if we're short over here, this is 1725. This whole thing is basically 1807 to, let's say it's 100. So I would put it at 1825 would be my stop, just for argument's sake on this. And I'm not sure if that takes me out. That actually takes me out. Stop. Okay, so it takes you out on this particular trade, right? Then we have a second sell signal. And on the hourly charts, I'm willing to take, like, if I get stopped out on the first signal, I'll take a second one. So here, this one, same kind of a thing. High low easily gives you the trade that works. Now it's a third signal, so we're going to ignore that. And what we're really looking for is, do we have any buy signals? No, it's getting very, very, okay, so stop. So it's getting, it's getting late in the trend. The trend's already, this is hourly trend quite down. The buy signals here, we need to fail underneath here in order for us to take a trade. They're no good reversal signals because the buy signal is not stretched away. It's touching the blue line, right? So let's see if we get a break stop. Okay, so do we get a break? Not quite. No, doesn't quite end up over here because we want it to be breaking the lows and it doesn't close on the lows. So no trigger here. So sorry, stop. So again, break to the upside, green candle, boom. So the stop and take profit are not fixed on the 1 hour. They're contingent on the candle. So it's got to be whatever is the high and the low of the trigger candle. So it's different every time. And I like to trade it with 1-to-1 risk reward. So I won one, I lost one, and this is my third one, and this is I won one again. So if I'm 2 out of 3 on a 1-to-1, I'm doing terrifically well on this particular setup. Okay, stop. First sell candle, so not a trade I want to fade. But if this thing closes through the highs, I'll trade it to the upside. Doesn't close to the highs, it actually turns to be a good sell signal. Buy is immaterial, it's not anything we're going to look at anyways. Second buy immaterial because it's not really an up arrow. You need to be an uptrend here. Again, see a market, even in the 1 hour charts, they get flat, we start ignoring them. Stop. Okay, first buy arrow that shows positive, we get long over here, works fine. So it's like 3 out of 4 now on a 1-to-1 ratio. Now we're looking for stop. Okay, again, sell arrow. If this beats to the upside, we're taking the trade, but so far we don't get it. We don't get any beat to the upside. Comes back down. Top. This sell arrow in an uptrend, this trigger candle beats the upside, so we get long here, and it extends longer, right? So you can kind of see the the interplay of the action. I don't want to bore you anymore with this stuff. Let me just take this away. Let's take a look at where the markets are at. Let me just minimize this. Look at this. Okay. So market's doing nothing so far, right? Very, very quiet. Euro pound, nobody's giving us any signals just yet. DAX flattened out. Dow's rally kind of died out. We got about 10 minutes, to the open. Yes, I enter on the close of the signal candle, not the close after the signal candle. Yes, the signal candle in this case is the trade on the hourly charts because signal candle within context is really what it's all about, right? So euro over here is giving us a sell signal. It's kind of touching this. I mean, like it's really not. Well, I guess no. We can sell this. Let's just play with this. So we sell the euro for, I don't think, more than 5 points here. I would trade at 5 points max, and with a 10, because as I said, it was very, very overextended. It gave us the sell signal. It barely came off the blue line on the 1 minute on the one minute chart here. So it's good enough for me to kind of want to fade. I said I was going to fade the euro, and I'm doing so. And I actually, because it's it's currencies, it's because it's so quiet. I may even just take 3 points on a scalp here just to see if I can get anything out of it. And we'll leave everything else alone. I mean, euro's in a very, very strong uptrend, so you certainly don't want to fight this trend. But as I said, we're looking for a very specific scalp formation, and only when we get that specific scalp formation do we enter. I should have entered actually over here, so like 62. I'm a little bit late. I came in at 60, so I'm tightening my target because I should be 57 is the proper target of where I want to be doing it on a +5. So I'll let that play out. NAS is starting to break out to the upside. Dow's doing nothing. This should be to the end, and then it goes 6. Yeah. Nasdaq super quiet here in the pre-opening range here. And you see, this was the one good trade here, the pull away trade, the rubber band trade to the upside. All right, let's look at everything else here. What's the pound doing? Pound had a decent, like, you would have had a little bit of heat here. What was the close was 61. It goes against you to 65, very little. Then eventually drops down to 56. Yeah, like 5 points. So you had 10 points, 5 points on the pound. Nothing, nothing much there. I'm just waiting for the equity market open just to see what happens here. We're going to pivot off of all of those numbers as the equity market comes up. We have a 10 o'clock 10 o'clock news, the ISM number, which is very big. So that could be a big mover. Other than that, we've got nothing else going on here. Okay. Dow, I hate doing this trade because it's literally like like a couple of minutes before the open, but the Dow does trigger a buy fail right here to the downside, right? And because I just remember like how many times we get faked out on the open, so I just really don't want to follow it because it usually tends to do this whole move one way or the other. But it is a legitimate sell here if you take the punt. Because this candle closes the buy candle, and we are just a little bit in the Dow chart, and this is the reason why I'm not a lover of trading the Dow because it does this little fake out move. But as we get post the rotation, the candle signal tends to be much better. So we have 50 seconds to the open. Market's very listless. I'm going to take my euro for 2 pip. I was going to take it for 2 pips, and it just kind of didn't quite come in for me. I'll just be a little patient with it. It doesn't matter. All right, let's take this for. Come on. All right, we'll just take it for 2 pips. I'm taking euro for 2 pips just because you know, I want to focus on the indices. What do we got here? Nothing. No initial rotation. Nothing. Dow next. Nas starting to do a little rally. Almost. So now I'm well, I want to watch this because I was going to say, is this a fake out move to the upside? They're going to try and take it down. Now I'm willing to sell this underneath this candle, but it looks like it's just going to be a straight up shot, so this doesn't really matter. They're taking it down to the upside, but remember, it tends to reverse a lot, and if it reverses, well, now it's going to positive trend, so it's going to completely obliterate our structure. So it's probably might as well cancel this. This is not going to be a trade I want, but it did reached out a little bit here. And the euro finally drifted down 3 points to the downside for us off of this sell candle. Dow looks like it really wants to break higher, so they're taking the market a little higher. That's building a positive trend. Jumped in +8 on which trade? The Dow, Larry? Which instrument? Oh, good job. Yeah. Oh, they're ripping it up now. Now what we need to do is have an establishment of some kind of a trend. We're still very, very flat all across the board. By the way, look at the euro. How that was a halfway decent signal. It's actually dripping lower. I don't know if anybody's stuck in the euro trade, but that's already 6-7 points our way to the downside. I'm watching. And actually more. Look at that. This is the value of like understanding regime and the turn trend. This was a good turn signal. Anybody trade the euro? Good job, Eli. Oh, that's good. So you took the big move, the arrow up move, right? It's not a bad idea to, like, at the open, take the directional signal of the arrow, because you do get some continuation. All right, so Dow, as usual, gives up all of its move right now. What a surprise! But the NAS kind of trying to hold bid for it now. Let's see where we're at. Oh, good. I'm glad everybody traded the euro better than I did, because I was trying to focus on equity markets, but they're like, if you notice, when I pick only the trades that are quality, then they work. If I'm just like forcing trades right now, where if I'm just seeking trades where they're not happening, they're 50-50 propositions. Hey, good job. I'm so glad. I'm actually really glad I started putting FX into this thing. I probably could take a look at the yen as well. I actually probably should just get rid of the DAX. I freaking hate the DAX. And put the yen inside there and just trade Dow, NAS, and the Troika for the move. So, okay, so the interesting part here on the pound is we're stretched away, deep away. Remember, I love to have two buy arrows and be the second one, but I wonder if if we get one buy arrow, if the pound might be worth a scalp here to the upside. But I need a buy arrow to trade the pound, and that's that's still not even a remote possibility just yet. Oh, NAS is setting up for a. I should do this. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm actually pretty well positioned. So NAS is setting up for a sell fail. Let's take a look at this thing. It needs to reverse. Let me see how it's looking on the futures. Yeah, it's looking the same way on the futures. But it hasn't been able to hold the highs. It needs to hold those highs. Let's see if it can hold those highs. No, doesn't quite hold it. But now, oh no. Nope, doesn't hold the highs. So we have to be patient, see if it can break out, further. All right, we've got 34 seconds. It's starting to move. I'm actually in the trade on my futures account right now. Just trying to see if I can, I jumped the gun a little bit on my futures account on the other side. Let's see if that works for me. I'm not sure if it will. I just got to go for 5. I'm trying to get to 5 points. It came very, very close to 5 points. About 41, 42 seconds. No, it doesn't look like it's going to run. One of the risks of jumping early is that you can get clipped, and then the trade kind of retraces back to your direction. The reward is that maybe you could come in early and have it TP'd earlier. So far, the candle is only 6.5. No, it still needs to be, still not even a green, barely a green candle. Barely, boom, 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 boom. Now it hit, come on, it should have hit me. Jesus. Wow, that sucked. Yeah, no, it's not going to work for me. It's just too. It literally did not get me done on the ladder. Oh, that sucks. Come on. Ah, no, I'm going to get tagged. And see that was the problem. I just missed the target. And now I got tagged on the stop. So we'll regroup. This trade did not trigger on the CFD, so there's no harm, no foul on this trade. Oh, it did trigger. Wait, why did it trigger? That makes no sense. How did that trigger? Oh, the CFDs? Wow, that's weird. I'm sorry, I wasn't watching CFDs. Anyways, we're in the money now, so I'm just going to close it out. I'm going to go back into my futures trade though, and if this holds on this level, then I'm gonna go long again. But it needs to hold, and that's the key thing about the trade. It's interesting. I didn't realize I must be different spreads on the NAS, because it definitely did not trigger on the futures. Okay, so it's got to be the high here is 92. I got to see 92 on the closing basis. 10, 9 seconds. If I don't get 92, I'm not trading it. No, I'm not getting it. Okay, let's look. Let's see if we can get 92 on the. Good job. I'm watching 92 on the futures basis just to see if I can get that closed. It needs to 37, 38. Let's see if this moves. Yeah, it's starting to move now. Needs to hold. Nope, not holding. Not holding. Okay. No trade. Oh, no trade. Okay, let's go back to see what's going on everything else here. Oh, remember I said the pound had a reversal. So let's look at this pound. This trade kind of touches. This had a big move already. It went from 49 to 56. So I'm passing up on this trade. If we get a second candle that does not touch the blue line, second buy candle, that might be an interesting trade for us to take a look. But right now, not a trade. All right, back to futures. Trying to hold 92s. Can we do that? No. Let me actually set the We have 15 minutes to the ISM number, which is going to be the key driver here. Oh, NAS, and this is a good example of why you wait until closing basis, because you're just not yet. The NAS is completely giving up strength right now, and we don't have any signals. Cable, even though it was stretched out, there's such a strong, clear upside bid that this would have been an okay trade. I just, it's just not. It wasn't a perfect trade, so I decided to pass up on it. DAX is just so boring. Let's do yen. Market watch. Actually, I could just do it this way. This is a trick of MT4, but it's got to be the exact capitalization and everything. Got to be exact in order for you to change the icon on the trade. Just out of curiosity, yen also obviously not a very big moving currency pair, but just looking here for. Sorry, let me go to the end here. But actually would have given us a really nice little trade here. This is what 85 to 92 that I could have taken. I just didn't have it on my boards. I'm gonna keep the currency, like 3 currencies on the side here for us to look at, because I think they're a nice addition to our rotation. Okay, Dow's got a up arrow in the break. We've got 10 minutes, 12 minutes to data. Just watching price action, just trying to see what's going on over here. The NAS is starting to break out here, and it's actually it's going to probably trigger our trade here. Let's see if that works. What do we got? 14, 13 seconds. Oh, why is that? It's way too high. That should actually trigger our trade. Does it trigger our trade over here? it should trigger the trade on the, I'm long the CFDs as well. And I'm just gonna close this out for 3 over here on the run. Where's my, did it trigger my CFDs? Yeah, it triggered my close over here at the net. Okay, so the NAS works. I'm just fooling around with a DAO. I'll close out this little DAO. It doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm all over the place because I was watching both the futures and the things. So this was a classic break of the high. I had, for some reason, it was too high. It should have broken over here, but it doesn't matter. This candle triggered +5. That was a nice classic trade. That worked well. Same with this. This actually extended a little bit more. Anybody take the NASDAQ trade? Okay. So yeah, that was a very, very fast 5-6 trade, and that's it, because obviously that's really good. Wow, 11 points. You guys got better points than I did. I was late to the entry and all over the place. But anyways, that's good. That was another, like, just patience. As a good example, by the way, of like me not being like when I was doing my futures and I was front running it. It's like never pays to front run. The hardest part of trading is passing up on all the bullshit. Like only taking, if you just take the good trades, you're almost assured to make money every day, like we do. You know, I don't lose because I have bad trades. I lose because I make bad choices. Very rarely do I have a bad trade, meaning a trade that was proper setup that didn't work. All of my losses are deserved because they're just mainly bad choices. Because I'm just, I'm rushing and I'm bored or I'm unfocused. But you can see how, like, obviously the more you practice, the more I practice, I'm definitely I've minimized myself tremendously, but there's much more to go to the upside. Cable, euro, yen, no trades here, but well, maybe we'll see some possibilities. One of my 2021 projects, which I know you guys are all going to really like, is we're working on a dashboard. So what it's going to do is it's going to just tell you. One of the problems is that, we're like, oh, I took my eye off the ball and I'm not paying attention. We're going to have a dashboard that's going to trigger. It's going to just not trigger any trades. It's going to trigger signals for us and say, let's say you only want 1 hour signals across all these longer term trades. It will just trigger that. Or you want 1 minute signals on all these, like on the on short-term CFDs. It will trigger them all so that you can take a look if the signal is within your parameters, and you can take the trade. It's going to really make a lot of life easier because you're not going to be, you're not going to be forced to have to look at a million different charts at once. But it's going to take a little while for us to design that. All right, we got 7 minutes. I'm waiting for the ISM just to see if there's any kind of price action going on here. Cable is positive trend now, breaking up above that sell arrow, but that sell arrow is from a negative trend condition, so not a classic trade. We're going to pass up on that. So just waiting to see where the price action moves. The most important thing, which is hard psychologically, but very, very critical from a technique point of view, is to not do anything until and unless you get the arrows. It's really, really easy to kind of find. Well, euro actually, what do we have? We have like a possible euro buy structure. We have positive trend. We have a sell arrow over here on a tiny, tiny basis. We can try to set that up. Let's see if I can do this. I think I can. So this is against this high. Now it'd be like a 5-10 move. Let's see if the euro triggers for us. So it's very, very, very small incremental moves here, but this is positive trend, sell arrow. Euro is, obviously very oversold, but it's still in a very strong bullish move. So a break of the like a break of this sell arrow over here, you can see has validity and continuity. So if it does break it, great. If it doesn't, we're just gonna no harm, no foul in that trade. We're waiting for the ISM. See what's going on. NAS is a positive arrow. That's not of interest for us, but just an interesting point. Oh, I was just actually looking at this. Wow, that's interesting. So one of the things this has been a long downtrend in the dollar yen, right? Negative dollar. So it's a very, very mature move here. But still, this is a classic break. Like, you have a big, big downtrend, retrace back up. It's almost like a reset. So you have a sell candle here. If that broke over here at 86, it certainly was good for another, 5 points to the downside. It looks like euro now is in trade, so we'll give euro a little bit of room to see how that's trading to the upside, and just waiting to see where the ISM numbers are. We have a minute and a half to the ISM numbers. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll put the let me see if we can move this over. So I follow easiest way to get the releases is going to be on Forex Live, because they're gonna off Twitter, they're gonna be like maybe a couple of seconds behind us. So we'll see. This pointing to the market one, pointing that ISM might surprise to the upside, right? So we'll see how that works. Just waiting for the numbers, then I'll go back to the charts. 55 worse. Okay, so it's a worse number. So now that's you're just doing nothing. But Dow is responding positively. And actually, well, we can't chase that because it's already a chase trade on the Dow. But you know what? We'll take the 4 points, 3 points on the euro. That was good enough to the upside. Better than nothing. Just trying to trade my setups, not anything else. Okay, so euro broke out a little bit to the upside. The Dow, this candle was a trade candle, but and it was an ISM candle. So you just you're not gonna, if you're buying over here, you should be buying over here. This is why I preach against the chase. It may still work, but the point is you're way offside. You're over here when you should be over here. You've given up all this profit. You have all this potential retrace to the downside. So you're assuming twice as much risk for the same in return. It's just not a worthwhile trade, not a good payoff. The euro, of course, going higher as usual because I'm not able to hold. But if you guys were in that, that's probably about 4 or 5 points in the euro already. So that should be good for you. Anybody take the euro? Okay, good job, Eli. Now I understand there's like certain people in the room that love FX, and other people in the room that love CFDs, which is great because I'd rather get both instruments into the rotation. All right, so Dow's rocketing. That's fine. This is all setting us up now, especially on the NAS side, for possible. Sorry, Kelvin, you got 3 pips or 3 separate euro trades? I'm confused with what you guys got. NAS is, everything is starting to take off to the upside. So finally establishing a little bit of a continuation trend. And oh, okay, whatever. Oh, I'm glad everybody's like, I'm so glad everybody's got itchy fingers like I do. Okay. Oh, what do we have on the yen? Okay, yen. I was just looking for this. Should we try this for the yen? Let's give this a shot. Oh, I can't get. Why is this not working? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get long yen here, but not really like for 3 to the upside with like a 8 to the downside. The spreads are also gonna kill me. I was trying to trade this. Did I screw this up? No, that's right. That's the buy candle. So I want to, if I have 10 points of risk, I should have 10 points of risk, 5 points of reward. It should be okay. Yeah, this is yen, so yen is super, super slow. But this is still within our parameters. It's a little bit, the only reason why it's not a great trade is because it's just barely coming to the blue line. You want it to have been really, really stretched out, but it's been very, very oversold. It certainly gives us a chance here for possible mean reversion trade, but it might be a little premature. This was not the best trade because if we were over here on the yen, that would have been a great entry for us. Now we have now we're going to just feel a little bit of heat one way or the other on the move, but we'll see. How the equities doing? Equities coming in. Looks like it's really a, trying to buy the dollar is as futile as trying to sell Nasdaq, right? It's a dumbass trade. I'm just laughing at myself. Let's see if this gives us even a modicum of a reversal move. Now, might not be. This might have been a little bit too early because we needed like a further stretch away from the blue. I'm trying to, come on. I'm looking at NAS and Dow right now. So there's a temptation here. See this? This is sell candle. It's really like the second sell candle. It's very, very far away. I think I'm going to do this on my try and do this maybe on my futures account. Let's see if we can just get like 7, 15, 20. Where's my futures account? So I'm short NAS, sorry, I'm short YM. Oh, it actually just got done. I just took the profit. So we'll count that as a trade. But basically, this was the same idea of like, we have a sell candle. We've had multiple sell candles. This was really, really stretched out. I was a little bit late to this trade, but at least it was very much within the construct of what we want it to be, like right over here. So that trade worked quite well. I didn't get a chance to take it on the CFDs because I was taking it off screen on my other one. But you can see that. So this candle so far away gives us ample room just to the moving average. Good enough. And that was a pretty high probability trade. Even though it seems so counterintuitive, you have everything going up, the rally's going up, but this is a perfect reversal entry. So that's good, Demetrius. You're in the money. I don't know how long you're holding it for. I was only holding it for 7 or 8 points, so I took that off my thing, and that's actually working for you now. Okay, good job. Yeah, I took about 7 on my futures. All right, so I basically stayed more or less to spec in my structure. Every trade we took was a legitimate trade. Let's review the trades that we took as legitimate trades. We took the breakout trade in Nasdaq, which was right over here, and that worked out very well. Unfortunately, we had a big move here, but no breakout trades here. We took the fade trade in Dow, which worked out also very well. We took the fade trade in Euro, and then and then what was the other? Oh, and then sorry, we took the fade trade in Euro over here, right over here, and that worked out very well. Right over here, sorry, it was over here. Look from here to here, full movement was really, really good. And then we took the reversal trade in Euro, and again, that worked out well also. And the only trade that was questionable was the yen trade, which we're still just basically floating. It's not a super great trade, but like basically, so we're talking about 2 euros, Dow, NAS, four trades in one question, but 4 out of 5. which is exactly, exactly want to be. Yeah, NAS all-time high. NAS is rocking. NAS is definitely taking off strong. But what's interesting is that when you're trading within the structure, it really doesn't matter whether you're trading all-time highs or not. You can pick the pivot points even against strong moves, and you can certainly trade the proper entry points within strong trends. It all depends on how you want to trade. But the beauty of the situation is that we made money both fading the trend and trading the trend, as long as we stuck to the setup. So that's the message of the day. All right, guys. Anything else on your mind? Anything else you want to tell me? I'm glad we're starting to trade a little bit of currency, because I know people like that. I think I'm gonna do non-farm payrolls tomorrow. There was a reversal signal on the YM, Jonathan. Let me show you. This was the reversal signal I was trading. So this shorts it out, right? So, oh, I see what you're saying. It wasn't a second one. It wasn't a second. This was the first one. It was on the YM. It was the first one, not a second one, right? On the CFDs, it was a second one. So basically, I was going off the CFD marker, but I was using this signal to the downside, and and that worked. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do NFPs. All right, guys. Take care.